Hello, hello! Welcome back to N25 Story Summaries. Today's event is the thrilling climax to a 3-year-long setup. It's finally time for Farewell My Mask, Mafuyu's fourth focus. The last 3 or even 4 events have really amped up the anticipation for what's about to happen, if the entirety of Night Court's story wasn't enough at this point. The empty Sekai is made from Mafuyu's feelings after all, so the focus on her does make sense. Farewell My Mask ran on the JP server from July 11th to the 19th, 2023. This event also doubles as the 100th event in the entire game. The commission song for this event is Engeki, or Theater. Most people say Engeki though, like me. Alrighty, all of the intro stuff is out of the way now, so let's begin. I hope you're ready for this one. Mafuyu is struggling to stay focused on her homework as of late. She keeps getting distracted over the smallest of noises, startling like a lost bunny late at night every time. Her mom is still down her throat about not staying up late, even though Mafuyu is doing just as she asked regardless. Tomorrow, Mafuyu will be getting the results back from her finals, so Mafu Mom wants to make sure that her daughter is getting enough rest. A little strange that Mafuyu still has homework after finals? Maybe they just don't have a word for the type of test this was in English? Regardless, Mafuyu continues to work past 1 AM, wondering what the others are up to. Of course, once Mafuyu's final was handed back, it was way worse than she was expecting. I mean, given everything, I think it's justified that Mafuyu's grades are slipping a little. Mafuyu decides to lie to her mom about the test not being graded yet to hide the score from her. Nice, Mafuyu lying right to her face. Full support over here. Mafuyu can't believe she just did that, but she's scared of what her mom might say, or worse, do to her, should she find out about the final. There is another mock exam coming up, so maybe if she does well on that, her mom will forgive her less than average score. Wait, what? Hello? That kinda came out of nowhere, what? The next scene is everyone in the Sekai reacting to news from Kanade. Mafuyu is taking a break from Night Court. The reason is entirely Mafuyu's decision this time, actually. She fears that if her grades fall any further, her mom will take notice and something more drastic may happen, so she's stopping the problem before it starts, though inadvertently following her mother's wishes. Miku decides that she wants to go check in on Mafuyu herself, which everyone thinks is a good idea. It'll have to wait till the morning, though. A few of the other Vocaloids decide to tag along with Miku, that being Rin, Len, and Luca. They all get to witness Mafuyu's other people voice and are rather shocked by it. When Mafuyu is alone in the study room, she tries to brush everyone off, and while they're all understanding of her need to study, Miku just asks to stay and keep Mafuyu company. She agrees. All of the Vocaloids watch as Mafuyu struggles through her math worksheet, eyes clouded over with frustration and thoughts of her mother. Luca suggests taking a quick break to chat with the others on Night Court, to which Mafuyu initially refuses, but Luca says that it's not like Mafuyu will be all that productive in her current state, so Mafuyu relents. Kanade, Enna, and Musique are all super happy to see Mafuyu's messages, and they all excitedly show her the things they've been working on for the new song. Enna and Musique's usual banter helps Mafuyu calm down a little, somehow, and Miku smiles as she watches Mafuyu's expression soften. Everyone thinks the song and video will be ready by the next day, and even though Mafuyu is a bit apprehensive on whether or not she'll be able to be there for the release, Enna and Musique reassure her that they'll pick a time to post it when she's available. Oh, and quick side note that I just think is interesting, Kanade talks about recording the vocals as the very last thing that they do, which is crazy to me. How can Musique make the video if she can't sync the stuff on screen with the vocals? Night Court production, you never fail to amaze me. Alright everyone, you should probably sit down for this one if you aren't already. Here's where the angst starts. Mafu Mom is having a parent-teacher conference after school, the one that was teased at the end of Mafu 3, aka the bug event if you don't remember the numbers. It's at this conference where Mafu Mom finds out about the results of Mafuyu's finals and the subsequent realization that Mafuyu hid the truth from her. She also discovers that Mafuyu skipped cram school that evening as well. Clearly, Kanade is the evil villain behind all of this. Mafu Mom goes to confront her daughter that night after dinner, giving Mafuyu one last chance to come clean about the finals, which she predictably doesn't. I'm sure a similar situation has happened to you at some point, right? Where you keep lying to someone and then they come out and say that they found out the truth and were just testing you. Yeah, not fun stuff. Mafuyu chooses to be honest with her mom. She was scared of what might happen if she told her the truth. Definitely the right choice in my opinion, because Mafu Mom does seem to soften a bit at that. After reassuring her daughter that she can come to her with anything, Mafumam recommends that Mafuyu cut back on her extracurriculars, which, again, Mafuyu was already planning to do. The next step in Mafumam's plan, though, is to take Mafuyu's phone. It's essentially the last thing Mafuyu has left at this point, so it's not a complete shock, but Mafuyu's face absolutely drops. She can't lose her phone. It's the only thing that connects her to the Sekai, to Night Court, to everything that makes her happy, her one lifeline. She thinks of Kaito and finally decides to put up a fight, adamantly refusing and begging her mom to punish her in any other way. Anything but taking her phone away. Mafumam is shocked by this behavior, of course. She gets up to Mafuyu's level and argues back, blaming her behavior on her friends and trying to forcefully snatch Mafuyu's phone from her hands. Mafuyu insists that her friends have nothing to do with her grades slipping, and Mafumam immediately retorts by blaming Kanade. Now Mafuyu knows about that little secret too, but Mafumam refuses to elaborate on what was said between herself and Kanade despite her daughter's questions. The two fight over Mafuyu's phone, and in the ensuing struggle, Mafuyu's phone lands right into her aquarium, broken. In the end, Mafumam got what she wanted, and she leaves her daughter alone in the room, cut off from her final lifeline. Since Mafuyu didn't show up to their usual lunch meeting and hasn't said anything at all since the day prior, the members of Night Court are fearing for the worst. Those fears are only accelerated when Miku returns with the news that she can't reach Mafuyu's phone, which can only mean that something's happened to it. Maybe something's happened to her. Kanade, Musique, and Enna decide to split up around the city to look for Mafuyu since they don't know where she lives. Enna goes to Mia Girls, Musique to the station, and Kanade doesn't say. But Miku's going to try reaching Mafuyu's phone again, and surprisingly, Kaito has to come along as well. Neither Enna nor Musique have any luck at their locations and decide to meet back up at the diner on the off chance that Mafuyu might be there. She isn't, unfortunately, and we see that Mafuyu's found herself at a little playground between some apartment buildings. It's near the place where she collabed in the Sasei event, which was Mafu 2. Sorry, there's been a lot of callbacks in this event. I hope you're keeping up well enough. Of course, Mafuyu can't really do anything other than wallow in her own thoughts, before Kaito is able to establish a shaky connection to Mafuyu's phone. Miku is able to get through as well, though they're both super glitchy and unstable. Kaito asks about what happened, and Mafuyu explains everything. Apparently, Mafuyu's strides in standing up to her mother still isn't good enough for Fury incarnate Kaito, who urges Mafuyu to tell her mom how she really feels once and for all. If she doesn't, this may actually be it for her. Miku agrees, but she encourages Mafuyu in a much gentler way. Her mom may get upset if Mafuyu tells her the truth, but if she hides it, Mafuyu herself will surely break, and Miku doesn't want that to happen. She reassures Mafuyu that she'll be right there by her side and to just do what's right. Mafuyu agrees. It's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Mafuyu starts off the conversation by apologizing for her poor behavior recently and for making her mother worry. She then asks to be allowed to continue to make music with Night Court, promising that her grades won't fall and that she'll continue to work hard. Mafumam tells her daughter what she told Kanade. She's not against Mafuyu making music as a hobby, but is now really the time for that? Other people around Mafuyu's age are working just as hard to get into these schools and compete with her after all. But Mafuyu admits that she isn't sure if she wants to become a doctor. She admires doctors and knows that she'll live comfortably if she becomes one, but Mafuyu's true dream is to help people as closely as possible. To be able to give that warmth to other people, the same way that Mafuyu herself received it when she was younger, that's what she truly wants. Which is a wish that can be achieved by becoming a doctor, but again, Mafuyu isn't sure that's what she wants. She'll need some more time to truly figure out the path to follow. Mafumam hears this and turns cold. She accuses Kanade of everything, putting ideas into Mafuyu's head that make her want to give up on all the effort she's put into becoming a doctor, all for this fleeting fantasy. Mafumam thinks this is the result of her failed support of her daughter, and perhaps her slight, overbearing nature. Slight. So, of course, she apologizes, heavy air quotes there, and guilt trips Mafuyu into oblivion by saying she was only trying to help. Literally moving herself to tears, because a fulfilling future for Mafuyu is the only thing that will make her happy. And by her, I mean Mafumam herself. It's been clear for a long time that Mafumam is doing all of this out of her own self-interest. This is just another piece of evidence. The tears and guilt-tripping work on Mafuyu, evidently. She backtracks and tries to comfort her mother to make her stop crying, promising... No. That's not what's supposed to happen, is it? She's supposed to fight back. Kaito and Miku encourage Mafuyu from her broken phone, telling her to listen to her own feelings instead of her mother's twisted words. They're right there with her.
本当はずっと苦しいの。お母さんが期待してくれてるからそれに応えたくて頑張ってたけど、頑張れば頑張るほど苦しくなって、私のやりたいことは何だろうってわからなくなって、でも奏たちと一緒にいて少しずつ分かってきた気がするの。自分の私の本当にやりたいことが。真冬、母さんは悲しむと思うけど、でもやっぱり私は嫌なの。音楽をやめるのも奏たちと一緒にいられなくなるのも嫌なの。
Despite the emotional confession from her daughter, Mafumam doesn't believe a word of it. She asks Mafuyu why she can't just understand that this whole music thing and these so-called friends of hers are just passing interests and will do nothing for her in the long run. These decisions, they will lead to regrets. But it seems like Mafumam is the one with regrets. She never should have let Mafuyu use that synth or have access to the internet. All of that has just led to this situation and a daughter she doesn't recognize. A daughter who gallivants around with strangers on the internet instead of studying and lies about it. That girl, she doesn't know what's best for Mafuyu. Who could know better than Mafuyu's own mother? Seeds of doubt are sown into Mafuyu's heart and she doubts her mother's words. Then she remembers the advice Musique gave to her. Night Court, the Sekai, they're always on her side. When things become unbearable, it's okay to run. She's the only one who can protect herself in the end. Feeling that warmth, smiling in a way that's genuine, that's the true goal. Night Court gives her so much happiness and belonging, not like here. Mafuyu decides that she's had enough. Miku begins to softly sing one of Kanade's songs. Years of manipulation and stress and expectations and worry spin through Mafuyu's mind as she tries to block out her mother's words, a last-ditch effort to preserve herself. Mafumam lands the final nail in the coffin, calling Mafuyu her good girl who always does the right thing. Even though she can't bear to think about what might happen to her mom if she ran, Mafuyu bolts out the front door without a second glance. Kaito appears in Kanade's room and tells her to go outside. She needs her. Kanade sprints out the door despite the pouring rain and finds Mafuyu, soaked to the bone, and Mafuyu just absolutely crumbles. She cries into Kanade's shoulder, telling her everything, asking if she was in the wrong, wondering why her mother acted the way that she did. Nothing makes sense anymore. Kanade offers comfort in the only way she knows how, gently telling Mafuyu that everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. For their sake and mine, I hope everything will be alright. God, what an event. What an arc ender. Okay, I have a confession to make. I knew what happened in this event before reading it. I know, the whole premise of these videos is that I don't know what's going on, and I'm reacting to the plot in real time just like you are. But Engeki was probably the biggest Night Court event prior to Mizu 5, so there's no way I wouldn't have heard of it beforehand. It hits so much harder actually reading through it. This whole thing was an absolute punch to the gut. Absolutely my favorite Mafuyu event, oh my goodness. This is another one of those events that I recommend reading for yourself. I can only do so much with the little inserts. Even if this is the only time you take my advice and go read the event, I don't mind. This one is worth it. Next up on the event list is something very special, the Night Court World Link. I'll explain what that means in the next one, so I hope you'll join me for Searching for Sunken Shadows. I'll see you then.